Just going to go over all of the YouTube play buttons. We're going back to basics because there's so many concepts of play buttons and fake play buttons out there. In this video, I'm just going to show you them all. I kind of contributed to all the fake play buttons. So the very first YouTube play button is the silver play button. This is awarded to any channel that reaches 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And this is what the current version of it looks like today. It's just sort of one solid piece of silver. It's not real silver, but it has this cool mirror and some text for 100,000. But there's actually been 6 editions of this award that I could find. So the first one was introduced in 2013 or 14. A bunch of channels started to get it early 2014, and this is what it looked like. It was this silver play button in a glass case. I believe it's real silver, and it has a YouTube logo on it and the channel name. Later in 2016, the second edition came out, where it's pretty much the same thing except the plaque part has pointy edges instead of round. And then the third edition was later in 2016, where they changed the red logo to white. And then the fourth edition in 2017 is pretty much the same thing again, but like the only difference is the thickness of the frame. Like the third edition has a little bit of a thinner frame compared to the fourth edition, which is a little bit thicker. And then the friggin' fifth edition is pretty much the exact same thing, with the only difference being the new YouTube logo instead of the old one. And then the 6th edition is the one we know today. That's a lot of silver play buttons. But now moving on to the second, more well-known YouTube play button, the gold play button. This award is given to channels that surpass 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and there are 5 editions of this award. Basically, it has always looked like the silver play button, but bigger. No matter what edition, it's always been the silver play button, but bigger and gold. This play button was introduced at VidCon 2012. So the very first edition, I believe, was actual gold and was massive. It, again, like the silver play button, was this huge award inside of a glass case. The second edition was pretty much the same thing, just a little bit tinier because it was expensive to create these things. And again, the edges in the play button are pointy instead of round. The third edition was a little bit of a cleanup. You know, the frame looks a little bit nicer, and the YouTube logo instead of red is now white. Now, the fourth edition was released, I believe, late 2017, where they changed out the old YouTube logo to the new one. It's pretty much the same thing, the only change really being this logo. And then finally, edition number 5, the current one today, the big blob that's not in a glass case that every channel gets to this day in 2022. Anyway, the next YouTube play button is the diamond play button. This play button was introduced at VidCon 2015 and is awarded to any channel that surpasses 10 million subscribers. It's this huge diamond looking play button. There's no frame at all. It arrives in this cool black case, and it's almost like this big piece of like glass or metal or something that you can display. It looks really cool, it looks diamond, and I believe there's only been 2 editions of this, one with the old YouTube logo, and then of course the second one being the one with the new YouTube logo. Anyway, moving on from there, this is where the debate begins. There is the ruby play button, also known as the custom play button. So it's not really confirmed if these play buttons are still in production or not, because YouTube is very selective with the channels that they give this award to. The first one ever was the first channel to reach 50 million in 2016, PEWDIEPIE, and he got his in the shape of a logo, the bro fist. This video is when he coined the term ruby play button, so that's why everyone calls it that, but it's not really called that. This award also came with 8 mini ones that have since been lost. Anyway, the second 50 million custom play button was given to T-Series in 2018. It kind of looks like a 3D diamond play button, where the centerpiece is sort of sticking out and it has T-Series logo inside of it. The next 50 million award was given to Conzilla in 2019. This one definitely looks way different. It's like a black circular award with sort of a, I guess, a ruby crystal on the inside, and it has their channel name on the outside. And then finally, the fourth and last 50 million subscriber award was given to Pinkfong in 2021. You know, Pinkfong's the channel that made Baby Shark, which is the most viewed video on YouTube. Now this award is blue with like a yellow-ish shark fin at the top, and so this one sort of shows that this is really not the ruby play button and is the custom award, because like this in no way looks like a ruby. Now there is another award that is for Blackpink. This one is actually not a ruby play button, although it was given to them around the time they hit 50 million subscribers. This was actually an award for the show, which is, I don't know, like just something they did. So this is actually not a 50 million award, which kind of sucks. So out of the 34 currently eligible channels, only 4 have them, but YouTube hasn't been consistent with it, and these channels haven't publicly announced that they got one or not, which prompted YouTubers like MrBeast to have to create their own. So this one isn't even official, but it still looks cool. And then from there, the final YouTube play button is the 100 million subscriber award, the Red Diamond Play Button. This award was introduced in 2019 and was given to PewDiePie and T-Series for passing 100 million subscribers. Basically, it looks like a diamond play button, but instead it's black and red, with the inside crystal being like an actual rare crystal made in France, which actually makes this like super valuable, also considering that there's only 3 known ones in the world. There are more channels with over 100 million, but we've only ever seen T-Series, PewDiePie, and then the third one put in a museum in Paris, which is probably now owned by Cocomelon. There hasn't been any confirmation if any other channels have received this one, but it is an official YouTube play button, so that's cool. And so that is all the YouTube play buttons, except we're omitting one. This one bugs me. This one was given to America's Got Talent for 20 million subscribers, and it looks like a 20 million subscriber play button, you know, it's triangle like the play button, except it was only ever given to one channel ever in 2021. And this one makes absolutely no sense. I hate that it exists because no other channel has a 20 million award, but it's technically a real play button, so you kind of have to include it, even though, look, I hate it. I don't like that this exists. And now from there, we sort of move on to other YouTube awards. These aren't real YouTube play buttons, so they don't really count, but, you know, honorable mentions like Seth Everman's 1 million